in just the space.
Yeah.
It's quite difficult.
That's true.
Correct. It's recording.
Now, at least now that I saw you discussing with your executive secretary, I understand the story.
Yeah.
I understand the story.
All right, can we start?
Coordinator said we should start.
Okay, thank you very much, friends. For today's session, I think this thing is too far. Can you check the document? And my Professor Jeff is not available today.
Is that okay?
Check, yeah. Check it if it's okay.
It's okay, I think.
Can you see me?
Yeah. Loud and clear.
And Professor Jeff is not here, but we are not small boys, so we're going to do our work, our Friday talks as usual. I'll start. I've got something that I prepared, and I would like to work on it as Professor Jeff required. It's about my questionnaires. Right, so my topic is training young men in responsible living and non-violent fathering, and these are the questionnaires that I will use to collect my data. I will use it for the survey and for the focus group. Part one is questionnaires that are concerned schoolboys. So I would like you to behave like these young boys, and while I'll be to feel that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do while I'll be training these guys when I'll be collecting the data. So we start by school boys questionnaire, then we'll go to young fathers questionnaires in the second part. But in the first part we have biographical data. So I'm going to ask you the questions, then you answer, because I want to know how long it's going to take us. It's going to take me per questionnaire, and for the number of people that I will have. So can we start?
Are you going to fill it as you ask us?
Yeah, you should fill it.
Okay.
You should fill it and take your time to fill it.
As schoolboys now?
Yeah, if you are a schoolboy, so. But I'm not going to shout.
So we shouldn't be 39, we should be 20, we should be 12 or 17.
Yeah, put any age you put. Right. But, question one, your age in years, can we start? Your age in years. Question two, your ethnic group, you just circle the if you are black, if you are colored, if you are Indian, white. I know I'm not dealing with white, but I think that be.
I am white now.
Yeah.
I am white.
Three, your home language, Zulu, Xhosa, Sotho, Swahili, Lingala, English, French. Question number four.
That's circle or just stick?
Yeah, circle.
Okay.
Yeah. Your religious affiliation. Circle one of the appropriate answer. 1, Christian. 2, Muslim. 3, Hindu. 4, African, traditional, and other. Number 5, how important is the religion to you? 1, very important. 2, important. 3, do not know. Not important at all. Right. We finished with the biographical data. We're going to the second series of questions. Number 2, I would like to know your experience of being father. So the questions I'm going to ask on this part of the questionnaire are related to your experience of being father. 1, as you have grown up, did you have a father or father figure in your life? You tick 1. Just tick 1 answer. If it's yes, my biological father, you tick it, say my father. Yes, another male who was like a father to me, a father figure, that we call a father figure. But you must explain, who was that man? Was it an uncle? Was it a grandfather? Was it
mother's boyfriend?
Mother's boyfriend, and so on and so on. So it's up to you to tick there. And no, I didn't have a father figure. Number 2, if you had more than one father figure, one father or father figure, who was the most important one? Right for example, my uncle.
But
If you had a more important, you had more than one father or father figure, who was the most important one? That means you had your father, but you also had somebody who was important for you, who was a father figure, and you have to write the name. Maybe it was your uncle or your grandfather, and so on and so on.
Okay.
Question number 3: how much of the time was this person around? Tick one answer. Every day, he was there every day. That person that you mentioned on question 2, he was there every day. He was there on weekends only because he was just coming and see my mom and was going. A few days, a month, less often. That's okay. Question number 4. In terms of discipline, how were you brought up? 1. Corporal punishment was often or every day, or 2. Corporal punishment was used often. It was used every day, or 2. Corporal punishment was used occasionally, say once a week. Corporal punishment was infrequently, say 1 month, say a month, say once a month. Corporal punishment was hardly ever used. Corporal punishment was ever used. So you've got a choice. And you should take into account when you were growing up, if your father was really using corporal punishment to control you. If had ever or never used, how were you disciplined when you did something wrong? So if your father found that you did something wrong and that want to discipline you, what was he doing? Can you write it in some lines, on 1 or 2 lines down there? Question 5. Can we carry on? Who administered the corporal punishment most often? Right, for example, my father. In terms of discipline, when you did something wrong, when you have to be told that what you did is wrong, who was doing that? Your father, your mother, or you? So there's the place where you should have to fill out. Question number 6. Do you think your father, that means your biological or father figure, was basically loving to you? Tick 1. One good answer. Very loving, sometimes not loving, very unloving. Have you got it? Can you explain why you say that? If you tick, he was very loving, say why. If you say loving, why? Please state in some lines, 3, 4, or 5 lines, not more than 5 lines. Right. Is that okay? If you need time, please tell me. 6, 7. What does a responsible father mean to you? When somebody say, or when you hear about a responsible father, what does it mean to you? Can you just write down some lines for us to have an idea? What are your thoughts about the responsible father? Question number 8. Can you carry on? Question number 8. Do you think your father or father figure was a responsible father to you? Tick 1. Yes, very responsible. Yes, responsible. Partly responsible. Partly not. Not very responsible. Not at all responsible. No father or father figure. So you tick 1 answer. Is that okay? Number 9. Do you plan to raise your children the same way your father or father figure did? take one answer. Definitely yes, definitely no. In some ways yes, in some ways no. I did not have a father or a father figure. I do not know. That's okay? Yeah. Now we're going to our third part of the questionnaires, and here I'm trying to assess your belief about fathering. So the questionnaires that are on this part are really finding out how are your beliefs on fathering, and so on and so on. Here are some of the statements. Say whether you agree or disagree with them and explain why. 1. Fathers and mothers should share the various tasks of bringing up the children. If you agree, you tick agree. If you disagree, you tick disagree. And explain your answer. Why do you choose? Why did you agree, and why did you disagree? If you're through, please let me know, then we can pass to the second question of our third series of questionnaires. Question number 2 in the fathering series. If a father and a mother break up, the children must live with the mother, and the father does not have any more responsibility for them. If you agree, say you agree. If you do not agree, you choose disagree. And then you explain why you choose, why you agree or why you disagree. Explain your answer, please. Ready? Question number 3. When children come along, it is time for the father to stop drinking with his friends and putting more time into bringing up his children. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Explain your answer. Question number 4. Are you ready? Fathers have to use corporal punishment in order to bring up good children. If you agree, say okay. If you disagree, and explain why you disagree or why you agree. That is question number 4. Question number 5. Is it okay for a father to slap a mother? If you agree or disagree, and explain your answer. Why do you think you agree to that a father must slap a mother, and why you disagree as well? Explain if that is your choice. Question number 6. Is it important for fathers to hug the children? Agree, disagree, explain, you answer. Why do you think you agree about fathers hugging their children? Or why do you think you disagree for fathers to hug their children? Explain your answer. Question number 7. Is it important for fathers to spend time with their children? Example, helping them with their homework, taking them to church, taking them to the beach, etc., etc. If you agree, that's okay. If you disagree, and explain why you agree and why you disagree. Question number 8. Can we carry on? If a father is dead or has disappeared, his role in the life of his child can be easily taken over by a child's mother. If you agree, say why, explain your answer. If you disagree, explain your answer. That will be over for part 1. That was the part of questionnaires for school boys questionnaires. Now we're going to young fathers questionnaires in part 2. The first question is, how many children do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just take one answer. How many mothers do these children come from? From one mother, 2 mothers, 3 or more mothers, 4, 3 from one mother and 1 from another mother, 5, 4 from one mother and 2 from another mother, 6 all from different mothers. Is that okay? Number 3. That's a very good question. Is it laughable or what?
All of them from different mothers.
Right. 3. Please describe the relationship you have with each of these mothers. Mother 1, was your relation good? Mother 2, was your relation bad, or just choose how was your relationship with your mother, the mother? If you had 1, if you had 2, if you had 3. So what was the relationship? Was it good? Was it bad? Or would you say there was no relationship? Is that okay? Question number 4. What is your relationship status with your children's mother? Second one of the answers. Are you traditionally married, religiously married, both traditionally and religiously married, divorced or separated, together but not married, and 6, no relationship? So the choice is up to you to choose the kind of relationship. Number 5, one of the best things a father can do for his children is to love their mother. Do you agree or disagree? And if you agree, say why, explain. If you disagree, explain your answer. Question 6. Question number 6. How do you rate the relationship between you and your children? Very good, good, bad, very good. I really don't have a relationship with them. Choice is up to you.
Was a repetition there for very good, very good.
Very,
Number
oh,
one
yeah,
and number
yeah.
four.
Very bad. Very bad. Eh?
All right. Question number 7. How would you rate yourself as a father? Do you think you are a very good father, you are a good father, average, bad, very bad? Explain your answer. Please explain. Why do you think you are? Can we carry on? Question number 8. Do you think you will benefit from some training in being a father? If yes, explain your answer. If no, explain your answer as well. And last but not least, since you have had children with your wife, whether you are living together or not, you have once left them for a period exceeding 2 years. Agree, disagree. If you agree, justify your answer. If you disagree, justify your answer. And finally, thank you very much for your time. Ngiyabonga sesikhathi sakho. Merci beaucoup pour votre temps.
Asante.
Asante sana.
Asante
Sana.
sana.
Asante
All right,
sana.
so it took exactly 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
But we should know that this is a different environment where we have grown-up people, but with these young boys, it might
It will take longer, I think.
it
Because they
might
will
take
think,
longer.
they may sit down to think, oh, this question.
Yeah.
And then they may also attach some emotions to it.
Yeah, correct,
In
of
the
course.
area of corporal punishment, for instance, if somebody is beaten by his father, at that point he may think. You get what I'm saying?
You even begin to cry.
Yeah.
Some of them might have been beaten that morning.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Very good point.
Or
yes.
even the day before, the night. And then, yeah, so.
You say something.
Okay.
Yeah, I was saying that just to buttress your point, Shegun, that the attachment of emotion there. Some of them might have been beaten that very morning and even the night before. And in some cases, I mean, given my experience, some of them might even begin to cry. And then it might even stall the whole process, and then you have to wait and try to console and give professional advice and even direct or refer. Thank you.
So what was your point of view?
It's exactly what Kuda just said.
And corporal punishment.
Yes, there are areas where it will definitely be a lot slower. It wouldn't be as fast as it was with us. You understand? For instance, your experience of being fathered. You said, as you have grown up, did you have a father or father figure in your life? And you say, yes, my biological father. Yes, another man who was like a father to me. Explain. In this case, if it's a father, if it's another male, maybe the mother's lover who maltreated him, it could also arouse emotional issues. You understand? So I believe, you know, at some point in your administering the questionnaire, there will be a lot of consoling. People will get emotional. You understand? People have different experiences of fathers.
Which aspect are you talking about?
Your experiences of being fathered, number one.
Okay. Yeah.
But you know, generally, I think it flows, and this the boys can just feel it, you know, without struggle. It's okay. It's written in simple English, and direct answers are required. No stress. You know, but the point I'm just saying is that there will be there will be periods where we'll have stops, and this will be due to, you know, the emotions that some of the questions will elicit. You get what I'm saying now? That what arouse, I mean. So, well, basically that's it.
Right, now I would like to have your point of view in terms of the content of the questionnaires as well, because that's one of the aspects that should be assessed for this session.
Yeah, as you know, when we are asking these questions, they have to be in alliance with your objectives.
Yeah.
I would want to know the objective so that we may accord each given the questions at hand. That would be very, very important. Yeah, that would be very, very important. These are things that we have to bear in mind when we are asking these questions. Are they tallying with our objectives? You see? Yeah, so if you can highlight some of the, not some, rather, the objectives of your research, that will help us to really make sure that they
align with the objectives.
Exactly.
Very, very important. But it's a wake-up call for even me, because I'm currently working on my objective, on my questionnaire. So I would need to also, like you mentioned now, make sure they align with the objectives. So what is asking now is for you to give us your objective.
If you have the objective, just cite them.
Yeah, the objective, one of the objectives that I think it has been expressed in part 2. You have experience of being fathered. Okay, it's one of the objectives.
What does the objective say?
The objective say, just a minute. Okay, I have it here. The objective, the overall objective, the overall aim is of the research to build the capacity of young men to be responsible, loving, and non-violent fathers. But the specific objective is that to survey the experience of a sample of young men concerning their own experience of being fathers and their beliefs, attitude, and aspiration concerning their own role as fathers. 2, drawing on the result of this survey and experience of existing fathering and parenting training programs to design a training program and so on, to implement the trainings. As you can see, my all objectives are in part 1, where I have to do a survey of the experience of a sample of young men containing their own experience of being fathered, how they were fathered when they were growing, and to know their beliefs, what they think were the fathers doing when they were growing, how they were treating them, and so on, what were the attitude of the father, and also what are the aspirations. I think these are the 3 main components of the questionnaires. The experience of being fathered. There is also the beliefs, how they've been fathered. These are the more important aspects.
I think it covers it.
Yeah,
it does.
It does.
And the last one, which you have just said, do you think you will benefit from some training in being a father?
Yeah,
That's like also part of evaluation.
Yeah,
you know, it's on point, Oga. It's on